And we're back on another episode of NBA 2K14. In the last episode, as you see yesterday, as the Indiana Pacers defeat the Detroit Pistons by 17, 111 to 94, 26 points and 11 assists for Paul George. Danny Granger got 20 points. On the other hand, Josh Smith got 19, Brandon Jennings got 16 and 10, and Richard Hamilton got 13. And a huge dominate win for the Indiana Pacers as defeated over the Detroit Pistons. 111-94, but the presentation is ready. So coming up next, another important for the playoff race in the Western Conference, featuring the duo of another matchup between California and Texas, as Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors take on Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs. Which is the last matchup between those two. Spurs trying to get out and then ready for the last time, while the Warriors trying to get an award, so you need a chance to see here. But you see right now the standings on the tightly closed. Spurs trying to stay for the second spot, the second place in the Pacific, and you see Dallas trying to get up. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin for this game. The Warriors gonna use the blue, and the Spurs gonna use the white. So here we go. Going to send to Kevin Harlan here in San Antonio. Now enjoy. Let's go.
Welcome to 2K Sports in the NBA. I'm your host, Damon Bruce. It's Wednesday night basketball. It's going to be the Golden State Warriors up against the San Antonio Spurs. And now off to AT&T Center with our crew of Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who are ready to call the game.
We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday night basketball, live on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan. In the booth, as always, with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. As we take a look here at David Lee, guys, what do you think?
Well, I'm a big fan of David Lee, fellas. I mean, you look at the way he's progressed in his career. Each season he's found a way to improve, and now he's become one of the better passing forwards in the NBA. I just like what he does because he can figure out ways to win each and every night.
I think a lot of it just has to do with him feeling right at home with the ball on the block. If you double, he'll find the open man, and if you don't, he'll square up and go into his move. He just finds a way to be productive on offense.
Just a single game here at home. After this one, it's back on the road for the Spurs. And this is a dangerous team, there's no doubt about it, with the Western Conference's fourth best record.
When I look at San Antonio, I think maybe they've slipped just a bit from where they were a season ago. But they're a team that typically figures it out as the season goes on.
And granted, it's hard to stay at the very top of the standings, but, you know, the playoffs are a whole different story. They're a team with playoff experience under their belts. They've got lots of confidence. I think they'll be just fine.
Here's Ginobili after the made shot from Andre Iguodala. 4 on the clock. Fires it up. Ginobili gets the bucket. Ginobili's got his second bucket of the night.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time. You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
Backing him down is Duncan. Parker outside. Outside Leonard. Dishes it to Duncan. And another basket for San Antonio. And Greg Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
And here's Leonard. After the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. And that one's good.
And they're on fire. They've made 4 straight shots to get this thing going.
San Antonio shooting their first free throw of the night.
Well, Kawhi Leonard taken 15th overall in the 2011 draft. And believe it or not, he's the Spurs' highest drafted rookie since they took Tim Duncan, #1 overall back in '97. It just shows you the legacy of the Spurs' success over the years.
The Spurs have gone 4-4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Backing him down is Duncan. And Count Kavasky is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Heard the whistle and still kept his focus, able to knock that down.
And that is not easy, Steve. I mean, to take the bump, to maintain control of your body, and put it in the hole, tremendous play.
San Antonio making a switch here. Jackson's checked in. That's good. And going back to Kawhi Leonard, he earned minutes in Coach Popovich's rotation from the first game on.
And part of the reason he did, he's got great versatility defensively primarily, but he's a quick learner, quick study, understands things, doesn't take long to pick things up. And when you're a first-year player, that can separate you from a lot of guys and get you in the rotation, especially with a veteran team like the Spurs.
Different look here for the Warriors. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Tim Duncan. Daniel Green. He's checked in for Mono Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Took him no time at all on that one. Jackson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Mark Jackson. Today, he's pointed to rebounding as being one of the crucial elements of this basketball game. He said, we need to bang with them and enjoy it. We'll see if they're having any fun.
All right, Doris, thank you. So Clark can really focus on pushing the boards here.
Well, that's always, Kevin, a big part of winning basketball is doing a good job on the glass. So many advantages come from owning the glass on both ends of the court. Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high, fantastic one-hand jam.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession.
And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
Boy, has there been any defense played yet in this game?
Nope, this game has been all about rapid-fire offense early.
He was all alone on that one. 13 points for Andre Iguodala.
His switch has definitely been flipped to on this quarter, guys.
Here is the 2K leaderboard. In the season's second half, these teams have been really passing the ball well. In third, the Warriors.
Well, it took a little while, but this club looks like everybody's on the same page now. The assist totals just astounding.
Nedovic is checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Mills gets to be out. Good on the three-point shot.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Feeds it to Douglas. And the Warriors check on two more.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch. What a performance, Kevin. It seems like every three he shoots is falling for him. He's in the zone.
Here's Nedovic. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
Green kicks to Mills. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
That's now a dozen straight points coming off wide open three-pointers.
You know what it looks like to me out there, guys? I mean, it looks like All-Star Weekend out there. We know how much defense is played there. It's actually offense during the All-Star Weekend, no D.
Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the Pacers in Indiana.
And a very confident performance offensively, I think, because he's really how this team clicks. I mean, when they're communicating and executing, sharing the ball, they're tough to beat.
And, Steve, you got to love that kind of performance on the road. I mean, to be a great team in the NBA, you have to be able to have that kind of performance in the other team's building. Really solid.
And the basket is good. The call goes his way, and we could be looking at a three-point play. San Antonio shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
Yeah, this is a very good free throw shooting team, guys. When you look at the numbers, impressive.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
Douglas kicks to Crowder. That's good with a Douglas assist. Douglas has got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight. Passes it to Diaw. Takes a three. Good! Diaw's got 6 points.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Spurs lead by 2. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.
Tune in next Sunday, April 6th. Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers, live from Los Angeles. Do not miss it.
And so far it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Warriors. They've got Draymond Green. Nedovich out there with Klay Thompson. Then it's David Lee. And it's Crowder in at the four-man position. Duncan. And another basket for San Antonio.
And these two teams continuing to trade blows like heavyweights in the middle of the ring.
So many times tonight, the energy in this building has gone from one way to the other.
Nedovich the pass to Lee. And he uses the glass on the layup.
You know, with that much of a height advantage, that's exactly what you should do. Take it straight to the rim. But, you know, you look at David Lee, he's more of a skilled finesse player, but plays with a great motor. Very intense and aggressive in his style. Always in motion, gets to the boards, offensively and defensively. You know, that combination of skill, hustle, and motor make him an all-star.
And let's bring up a list of some of the NBA's hottest players. Among shooting guards, these are the leading scorers over the course of the last month. You take a look at Thompson. Third in the league, he typically dominates out there. He can seemingly score at will.
Well, night after night, we see this group punish opposing defenses. If you pick one way to deal with them, they'll just find another way to beat you.
Well, when you look at those numbers, you can tell that among the NBA's perimeter players, Steve, they're as explosive as it gets. It takes a lot of energy expended to defend any of them.
And Clark, when you talk about the skill level for David Lee, not the biggest guy at 6'9". I know you admire his game. And Steve, a great finisher at the same time with either hand.
I think that's one of his greatest assets, Kevin, his ability to score around the basket with either hand, as you mentioned. He can shoot the mid-range shot, handle the ball. They can run their offense through him at the elbows because he's such a good passer as well.
Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you can hope for.
Well, neck and neck, how about that? I mean, ferociously competitive. I mean, tight as me in an airplane bathroom.
And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. And it's 6 points for David Lee. Got a piece of it. Lee with the steal. Thompson against Leonard. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his first foul. And the Warriors making a change here. Here's Lee. He had a 12-point outing in the last game against Dallas.
solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep. Yeah, you got that right, Kevin. He's such a reliable finisher.
He feeds it to Ginobili. And it's San Antonio with another.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Last outing for Golden State, it was a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
Yeah, I thought their defense in that game was about as shaky as it could be. At home, that kind of defense isn't going to cut it. Never mind if you're on the road.
They really look tired to me, and I don't know if they had travel issues or if they were out too late, but something was amiss because they had no energy.
Poked away. It's stolen by McGrady. Duncan high post. Takes it off with both hands and rips it down.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Boom, he chips it straight down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
You know, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine. The thing you notice right off the bat from the statistics, just his three-point percentage. I mean, it's a terrific number. And it's a combination of things. Good shot selection. Mechanics are solid, and his movement on the perimeter is outstanding.
And another specialty of his is the three ball from the corner. That's his signature shot.
And the Warriors making a change here. As we close in on the start of the playoffs, let's see how the West is stacking up. You look at San Antonio, they've had a great season, and will look to extend that into the playoffs. And, of course, the Warriors, just a few spots below there.
Well, I think for Golden State, they just haven't shown the kind of toughness and resilience I expected to see from them this year. Whenever they face some adversity, they haven't been able to fight through it.
Which is really the difference between good teams and great teams, Clark. There's always going to be adversity for everybody. It's how you fight through it that really defines who you are as a team.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him. Well, I watched this kid in college in North Carolina, Harrison Barnes. At 6'8", he's got a strong frame, a nice touch, hard-working, and he's really a student of the game. He's got the prototype body and game for an NBA small forward.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Klay Thompson is checked in for Golden State. And going back to Barnes, not just size, but almost a 40-inch standing vertical at the combine. Off the charts.
And you factor in, he's got a great high release on his jump shot, able to get his shot off pretty easily. Really a quality player in this league. Size, strength, and shooting ability, that's always a good combination. The defense sagged off, and he did not hesitate to rise up and bury that three.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and terrific finish.
Nice fadeaway to get over the top. McGrady's got 6.
And he's shaking off a poor first-quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
It's stolen by McGrady. And here comes McGrady, even the fast break. Here's Bonner. And he was fouled in the act of shooting.
Just putting on a passing display out there.
Well, just add another fantastic assist to the highlight reel for this guy.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. David Lee checked in for Bogut. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Steph Curry. Spurs leading by 3. Bill Alley dishes to Bonner. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. And Diallo kicks to Jackson. Here's McGrady. It's good. The assist is time from Johnson. McGrady's got 9 points now in the quarter.
And he's starting to pick things up here after a tough first quarter.
Here's Douglas. And another basket for Golden State. Here comes Tracy McGrady. He's got 9. And he makes good on the layup. McGrady's got 11 points.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
And the first half is now in the book. It's San Antonio leading by 6. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Hi, everyone. Damon Bruce here on 2K Sports, the late season edition. Welcome. San Antonio on top against Golden State. The three-point shooting, ridiculous. They're knocking down everything. Tim Duncan with a phenomenal first half. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And midway through, the Warriors are still alive. They continue to dice up teams with passing, fluid play. It's beautiful team basketball. It's been a superstar display by Andre Iguodala. He's got 13 points and also has contributed with his passing, making some assists. And now let's go around the NBA to check out what's happening. Out in Denver, the Nuggets are taking care of business against the Pelicans. A comfy advantage for them in the third. And another game going on. The Los Angeles Lakers in front against the Kings in Sacramento. About midway through the third out there. And a look now at the rest of the action from around the NBA. The Los Angeles Clippers trailing the Suns out in Phoenix. They're 6 points behind with some work to do. And that'll be it for us here. Thanks so much for joining me. Now it's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. We hope to see you around next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And welcome back. The Riverwalk, always a prime attraction here in San Antonio.
We've seen Tim Duncan getting it done. He has 15 points. He's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And a lot of times, he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
Leonard and Duncan out of territory. In the backcourt, Parker and Ginobili. And it's Splitter in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. And here's Duncan. Parker outside. And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
You know, you talk about Tim Duncan, his great basketball IQ and skill level. Those show up in every facet of his game. And one thing people might not think of are his outlet passes, which are such a key to fast break opportunities. But there's not anything on the basketball court that Duncan doesn't do well.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Curry outside. Another three for Golden State. San Antonio leading by 5. And going back, Clark, to Duncan, the value of that great outlet passing game of his, he was kind of like a quarterback. Steve in football, reading the coverage and getting the ball to the right guy.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy. Duncan's so smart as a passer, and particularly playing with Tony Parker. When you can get that outlet to Parker near midcourt, now it's on offensively. I'd like to see more of that. He's been passing like a shot more than usual, even though he's hitting the runs he takes. He's got to be more aggressive. And with a quick chance here, let's take a look now at some of the numbers for Andre Iguodala. 12th in three-point field goal percentage. And with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, he's done a nice job of creating good looks for himself.
And his three-point field goal percentage, Steve, is, I think, worth another quick mention here. I mean, the way he's been shooting it, that bucket looks a lot bigger than it really is.
And they've made 3 of their first 4 shots here to start this half.
Gets it to go.
Well, I tell you what, Greg Popovich, a really impressive leader for the Spurs. He's able to keep all of his players locked into what's best for the team. Has a military background, played basketball and studied at the Air Force Academy before serving 5 years in the Air Force. And some of the leadership that he brings to his position was learned from his past experiences.
Let's quickly bring up the 2K leaderboard for a look at the top free throw shooters among point guards. Third is Stephen Curry.
And he's been a model of consistency at the free throw line. He's as dependable up there as he is on the floor at any given moment.
Steve, you take a look at him when he's up there. I mean, he's a cool customer, a real cool dude. His scope never changes. Doesn't matter if it's the first quarter or if the game is on the line in the fourth.
Morris Diaz checked in for Tim Duncan. And Clark, you mentioned Pop's time at the Air Force Academy. That's where he got his start in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, 6 years as an assistant there. He's head coach at Pomona, an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors and the Spurs, and eventually moved into the front office in San Antonio. Wow, what an amazing run it's been for him. 17 years as the head coach of the Spurs.
Splitter kicks to Ginobili. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And that one's good. Parker.
Well, they've got to be careful not to give a shooter of his caliber open looks like that. One or two of those are all it takes to really get him going.
Iguodala. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got his 9th assist in the game now. It's tipped. Parker passes to Leonard. And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And it's not just great offense, Clark. The defense is really lacking. Not enough energy on their closeouts. You got to make a defensive adjustment here because he's just destroying them from three-point range.
Well, even when they've closed out on him, Steve, he's knocking them down.
Gets the bucket. 14 points for Tony Parker.
I'll tell you what I love about him. His ability to finish even while absorbing contact. He is so strong. Even with defenders hanging all over him, he continues to finish at the basket.
And that's not all there is to say about him, Steve. I mean, he also is a master of the pick and roll. Get the ball in his hands and set a screen for him, and there will be an easy bucket after.
And the Warriors making a change here.
The Warriors chose to wait until the final year of Curry's rookie deal to extend his contract, but it turned out to be a bargain. And coming off an injury, there were a lot of concerns about Curry because he turned into a superstar, particularly in the playoffs, and now the Warriors have him locked up for 4 years.
San Antonio leading by 5. Outside, Green. He tries for 3. Another 3 for Golden State.
Boy, the shots finally dropping for them in bunches, and I'll tell you what, the complexion of this game has totally changed.
You know, that kind of offensive eruption was the only thing that was going to get them back into this one.
It's the bucket. And the Curry contract fight. I mean, eye-opening. 4 years, $44 million.
Yeah, to us it may be a little odd in terms of hearing those numbers combined with the word target. But you better believe the way he's playing and helping to lead this team, it's a good investment for Golden State.
The drive by Duncan. Count the basket and the foul. They get Stephen Curry.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Azir. Lee comes in for Draymond Green. And it's Harrison Barnes in for Andre Iguodala. And the dunk by Barnes.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game, a potential momentum builder.
Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, 22 points for Tim Duncan. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Curry with the 3, and another 3 for Golden State.
But you gotta love to see that kind of range. He's been lighting it up from outside.
Diaz. That's good. Great play set up by T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. McGrady's got 5 assists tonight. Curry dishes to Thompson. He kicks it to Barnes. Fires the three. And the shot is good. Barnes has got 14 points for the game.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up.
As he should. That's a good decision. When he gets a clean look, he's got to take it.
And at the close of the third quarter, still a close game and both teams putting up points in a hurry. Spurs lead by 3. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
Tune in this Thursday, April 3rd. Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks hit the road for a duel with the Los Angeles Clippers. You don't want to miss it.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Barnes and Lee are the 3 and 4. Iguodala out there with Steph Curry, and it's Bogut at the center position.
But now both of these players really in a groove here.
Already a high-scoring game, but it has become an offensive showcase down the stretch.
And Leonard backs down. Tipped away. Lee with the steal. And the foul called on Daniel Green. That's his first foul. And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. Bogut sends a screen for Curry. And Iguodala with the basket, the assist by Curry. 21 points for Andre Iguodala.
It just seems like they've given up far too many points from three-point shots today. A lot of open looks out there.
I agree, Steve. The defensive rotations have been a bit. How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, but that slam, I think.
Well, that's how you send it. 2 hands and hammer it down.
Curry's shot is good.
Tell you what, when he gets it going, this is exactly what can happen. They may have to double team him.
Splitter kicks to Leonard. Stolen by Thompson. It's Iguodala with the drive. And a strong finish with... Two hands. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Warriors.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And something else they've excelled at is their interior defense. A lot of block shots for them tonight.
And the foul called on Daniel Green. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Lee, rejected by Leonard. And it's Duncan penetrating. It counts, and the foul. They get Andre Iguodala.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Well, he really anchors their defense. You know, his teammates can lean on him. They know that he's going to be in the right spot. He's so smart, so skilled. Really the complete package at the defensive end of the floor.
And Steve, you know, he's also got a full arsenal of moves in the post. I mean, you can't believe how many tricks this guy has up his sleeves. He's full of them.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mark Jackson was going over with his team. As this game enters winning time, and it really could go either way, he wanted the chance to check in, make sure they're all on the same page, and sticking to the game plan to close it out. Kevin?
Now Parker, shot clock at 5. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Ginobili, that's good.
He's so clutch, Kevin. When the pressure is at its highest, that's when he's at his very best.
Curry kicks to Thompson. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. And the Spurs with possession. They've led by as much as 10. Last time in Oakland, they lost to the Warriors.
Well, looking back at that last game between these two teams, they lost the game. I thought the difference was they were badly out-rebounded inside. And it's so tough to win a game when you can't secure that ball.
Steps back and fires. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
Back to Bogut. Banked in off the glass. And the Warriors lead by 1. And Clark, talking about rebound, I'm sure that this team has been reminded of that by the coaching staff.
Without question, you can't be surprised to see them really crash the boards in this one. They needed to get some second chance points, and their defense needed to limit the offensive rebounds at the other end. Definitely that was a focus for them, controlling and handling both backboards.
That was critical, guys. Absolutely critical. And, that's what we're used to seeing out there.
And the jam by David Lee.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make... The basics look pretty exceptional.
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we've got one here tonight.
Ginobili, that's good.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He is yet to miss a shot.
And Thompson kicks to Iguodala. And another three for Golden State.
This is the kind of one-man performance that can win games for a team.
Yeah, he's unflappable, Steve. He doesn't seem rattled at all by the score, and he's now 4 for 4 in the quarter.
Parker against Curry. 6 on the shot clock. Parker gets to Leonard. Trifecta!
That is a clutch shot if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, very gutsy there. What more can you say? He got it done at the best time.
And it was not a clean block. Whistle blows and a foul on the defender here. It's a shooting foul, so free throws will be coming up. He sinks the clutch free throw.
Just what the doctor prescribed. The hoop and the horn, and he makes good on the free throw.
Parker gets to Ginobili. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
So hard to stop Ginobili right now.
Pass to Curry. Shoots from the corner. Buries it. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1. That one just took the air right out of the crowd.
Yeah, he simply said, sit down and keep quiet with that one.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing coming out of these fans now.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Curry against Parker. 17-foot shot on the way. It's good. Timeout call the Warriors. They're trailing by 3. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's Curry outside. Gets it back.
He knocks down the 3 to extend the game. Wow.
Talk about a clutch shot, guys. I mean, he showed no fear or hesitation at all, hoisting up that 3, and now it's headed to OT.
Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Well, if you're just joining... The intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime. So Golden State will get the first possession. And away we go. regulation basketball. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Thompson and Barnes, the 2 and 3. It's Lee and Bogut inside, and it's Curry in at the 5. Green, he's covered by Thompson. Green against Thompson. Step back and squared up. Green's got the first points here in the overtime period for San Antonio. Poke loose. Here's Parker. Finished off the break. And the Spurs lead by 4.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
Thompson with the bucket.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
And here we go with Tony Parker. We're just over a minute into overtime here. Back to Duncan. Duncan drawing the double team. 5 on the clock. It's the lead pass. Count that one. And that's 20 points for Tony Parker.
Love the interior passing. He knew exactly where to go with that play.
The drive by Bogut. And that one is hammered home. This game going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that, give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
How frustrated Steve is on that.
Well, I just, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 3-point lead. The Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
That was a critical trip to the stripe. They have a 2-possession lead now.
Outside Curry. Thompson for the triple. Another 3 for Golden State.
What a beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Outside Leonard. Launches a 3. That's good on the assist by Ginobili. And that's 18 points for Kawhi Leonard.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him. Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession. He had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
Curry passes to Thompson. Back to Curry. Curry against Ginobili. Parker outside. Outside Leonard. The dish to Duncan. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
Exceptional play to take the bump and still get it up and down.
Yeah, way to stay with it. And look to finish the play right there.
And here is Curry. Connects! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. We're in overtime. If you just joined us, 2.5 minutes through it. Lee with the steal. And now here's Lee. A fast break opportunity. They get it back. It falls! What a beautiful shot to bring them to within 3.
That's how to orchestrate for your team. It's a terrific pass.
And that's an intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game. Timeout called the Warriors. They're behind by 5. 23 seconds left to play in the first overtime. What's your take, guys?
I think the coach is telling them here to just take the easy points in a hurry, and then you got to foul right away.
I don't think they necessarily need to just foul blindly right away here. You'll go for a steal before you send one of them to the foul line.
Now, severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
And now we've got the intentional foul. It's the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
And as long as they continue to do this kind of work at the foul line, the lead should be 6.
It's in! And now they trail by just 4. And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yep, you got to extend the game here. Try to keep that clock from moving.
And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
And you can wrap this one up. Great job to stay cool at the line and polish it off.
Knocks down the trifecta. San Antonio calls timeout. They're ahead by 3. 6 seconds left in the first overtime. 3 minutes gone now here in overtime. And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul. He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game. From midcourt, it's off! And so it's San Antonio with the win. You know, Clark, they couldn't put him away in regulation, but after a superb performance in overtime, they managed to get the job done.
Yeah, just an amazing game, but they pulled away at the end.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Tim Duncan.
Wow, what a game here in San Antonio as the Spurs beat the Warriors in a huge, scary, and highest scoring game ever. 156 to 151, their combined 307 points for both teams. And as you can see, LA Lakers are clinched the playoffs along with the Dallas Mavericks are also in the playoff field. And look at the huge big game, close ever. The close game in overtime featuring the first 4 quarters and with it all 30 points or more. 156 to 151. Tim Duncan got 37. Manu Ginobili got 28. Tony Parker got 24. On the other hand, Stephen Curry got 35 points, 19 assists. Andre Iguodala got 29. And Klay Thompson got 21 and 8. And a huge shootout fight here in San Antonio as the Spurs defeat the Warriors in the craziest close game in overtime. 156 to 151. Let's check out the other games right here that was similar and the highest scoring game. On November 14 right here, that was also a shootout. Warriors beat the Thunder in a huge shootout game. That was an intensity ever. Almost to check out how many games are overtime here. That was a huge, scariest moments, and that was a close game. Then 142-141 in overtime. And then in the other side, it was another overtime, another highest score, 146 to 142, another overtime, another close game. And that was a huge, scary, and a huge close game. That was a huge, big win and all night for this one for the Spurs. As we wrap up here today, let's check out the X game on April 3. Oh, don't do that. I didn't do this too late. I forgot. I didn't do this and again. I'm not gonna do that again. So that was a huge close game here in San Antonio. The shootout in overtime. Let's check out the playoff standings right here. Western Conference, but still have the top 3 shot right here with the San Antonio Clippers, Lakers, and the Mavericks. Right now on the top, but the Warriors still have a fight for number 7. Fight for number 6 spot below. We're trying to get in here to playoff push. Seeing right now, Houston, Clippers, Lakers, and Mavericks. That will be a good one here. Both teams trying to get in the first spots below. That will be a good one here. The playoff begins about to round the corner. Let's check out some daily view to the upcoming games tonight and next week. Or actually weekends, because since there's no class tonight, there's no class tomorrow, will be tomorrow on Friday. Another doubleheader will be moving on Friday night, July 18. Next Saturday, moving to July 19. And then next Sunday, we'll be heading to July 20. Might be depending, it might be cancelled. So we got our next matchup here. We got the Spurs Thunder and Mavericks Clippers. So that will be a good one here. That 2 games in the NBA playoffs. There will be playoff push. That will be a good. So what a huge close matchup. That was a scary game. As the Spurs beat the Warriors by 156 to 151 by 5 points. So let's check out the upcoming game schedule tomorrow on another doubleheader, or not yet. So we're on the way to Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City. We got another Western Conference duo. It might be another shootout. We got Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili of the San Antonio Spurs take on Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the other hand, in the second game, we're up to Staples Center in LA. We got another Western Conference matchup. Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks take on Chris Paul of the Los Angeles Clippers. That'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Spurs beat the Warriors by 5, 156 to 151. This is Andre Kenshin saying so long from Staples Center in LA. Say so long from AT&T Center in San Antonio. We'll see you tomorrow, or move to Saturday on the line. We're off the Staples Center. We're off the Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City. We got the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by the second game here, the Staples Center in Los Angeles, for the Dallas Mavericks take on the Los Angeles Clippers. So as the Spurs beat the Warriors by 5, 156 to 151, it's time to say so long, and it's time to say sign up and peace out. Good night, and reminder, we'll see you tomorrow for the first game from the doubleheader. Might be depending the tentative. We're off the Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City for the San Antonio Spurs take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by the second game here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles for the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers. Sign up and peace out. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the heading to the doubleheader. Peace.